What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. So for this horror trailer review and reaction, we are taking a look at the recently dropped trailer for Shadow of God. Trailer teases holy twist on exorcism horror ahead of April release date. Now quickly, you all know the religious horror subgenre dealing with exorcisms, things of that nature is by far my favorite subgenre. I know it's not one for everybody. I know some of the films, as they start getting into sequels, prime case would be the Exorcist franchise. I know many people love the first film and just do not like any of the sequels, spin-offs, reboots, remakes, what have you, prequels as well. I enjoy all of them to a degree, so when I saw this one, it obviously got my my interest, but then when I saw the headline, when it said it was going to be a twist, a holy twist on it, it obviously got me a bit more intrigued as to, well, what could the twist possibly be. So we're going to jump into these article details real quickly, and then we are going to check out the trailer. So arriving just ahead of Easter is the new exorcism horror movie Shadow of God, which appears to introduce a new twist in the trailer that debuted this morning, which was yesterday morning. An elite exorcist realizes he may be dealing with a holy entity, which that might be the twist. Usually it doesn't indicate that it's a holy entity that's involved as far as the possession or needing to be exorcised. Usually it's a demonic entity or demonic possession, so that could be the twist there. Shadow of God will debut on Shudder on April 11th, 2025 as part of its halfway to Halloween lineup. So we will be checking this one out. Probably, I don't know if it'll be on April 11th, but April 11th falls on a Friday. So we'll probably watch it that weekend and come back to you all with a spoiler review. So we have a synopsis here that we're going to cover off. We'll go through it, just a few sentences. I don't necessarily, this is a pretty long synopsis. And you all know I don't like reading a very lengthy synopsis or summary of the film. I feel it could just, in a way, spoil the review or the watching of the trailer and then the film itself. So we'll read the first couple of sentences and then we'll move on. In the film, quote, when several of his fellow Vatican exorcists are simultaneously killed, Father Mason Harper returns to his childhood home to spend time with childhood friend while he awaits orders from the church. However, the small town holds dark secrets about Mason's past and the religious organization once run by his father Angus. Thought dead, Angus reappears, forcing a reunion between father and son. All right, so that's wrong, but we'll read this last little bit here. But Angus is different now, and before long, Mason suspects he's possessed not by the devil, but by something holy. All right, so we'll end it there. We're not going to read any more about this one. All right, so we have what we typically would have for any of these articles and trailer reactions. We have the cast, who's directing, who the script was written by. Let's see, we have a little bit more here. We've made an exorcist film that adds new elements to the genre while also honoring its traditions. It was incredible watching the amazing cast and crew bring this fearless script to life, a creative dream come true. All right. We have a little bit more on the producers who was involved in, and then it just mentions the trailer below and the poster. So let's go down. All right, so I'm really loving the poster because it's, as you all have heard me mention before, I don't like posters that have, scariest movie of 2025, scariest movie of the year, you will want to cover your eyes and all this other nonsense that they say critics say, and then they have at the very bottom just a long list of who's all involved, producers, directors, casting, all that. I like a poster kept very clean, and this is how I would like it to look. You have some sort of aspect depicting what we might see in the film or depicting what the film might be about. You have the name of the film, and then you have this little text down here, a Shudder original, which I'm fine with, but even if that wasn't there, I think it'd be even better. But this is the type of movie poster I like to see, nice and clean. All right, so let's get back to the top of this article. All right, so now let's pull up the trailer and see what this one's about.
How many exorcists have we now lost?
The Holy Spirit, you take us.
The last 24 hours have been strange.
What's wrong?
I thought I saw my father.
At least we saw him
I
die.
know.
Wait!
You're returning to a place where you suffered emotional trauma. Thought finally coming home might give you some closure. Something strange is going on, call me.
I think resurrection is more your jurisdiction.
Dad? I can free you.
Safeguard us against the evil.
Rome won't help us. How many times do you need to see something to believe it? I am still God's vessel. They're looking for us. Who?
You got someone down at the ranch you want to see again.
Grant me the resolve. Resist the evil that lays before me.
Identify its true nature.
Do you know who I am?
So, not a very long trailer. So this one was about minute 25 seconds or so, but I think there's a lot to unpack there because you really don't have a true idea of where this one's going to go. So we obviously see the father and son on a bridge. The father retires himself, which we assume he's of sane mind at that point. He may not be, but we're going under that assumption for the trailer. Then we see at a point where he's coming back home, we hear a little bit of a talk over. We do hear someone mention, which it sounds like it's the blonde lady that we saw like once or twice in the trailer, indicating, hey, there's something going on here. You've suffered some, past, emotional things. And then we get a flashback, and we can assume that it's him as a teenager because being whipped, because we see the individual whipping him, but then we see a quick scan over to his father, who was, preaching or doing something, as it mentioned in the summary that he was running some religious organization. It appears that what could have been it, because again, we see his father right there as his son is tied and being whipped. Then we get that flash forward back to the present time where we then hear that talk over saying, hey, something's happening, call me. So I'm imagining based on that, the father shows up, then we see that the father is possessed, because then we start to see the steps of the son trying to exorcise him. He's tied to the bed. He goes to touch his forehead, and there's some sort of sticky residue there. But again, as the trailer goes on, we start getting real quick snippets throughout the film. We see where there might be a group of individuals that might be looking for the father, or what's ever possessed him, because we see them standing over somebody. They retire somebody with a firearm, and again, the trailer starts to pick up an intensity where we see the son having another shotgun, or seeing a shotgun being held to his head. We see someone getting what appears to be a spike through their hand. The son is also then at some point holding the spear of Jesus, which is typically, I think that's the name of it, where it's the tip of the spear that is supposedly that was used to pierce the side of Jesus while he was on the cross. We then also again, it's quickly moving where the father then is still tied to the bed, and all these beams of light start shooting from his eyes and his mouth. And then we hear again a talk over of, do you realize who I am, or something to that nature. And the son is walking towards this door with all this beaming light coming from the sides, from underneath it. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a bit of some holy entity has possessed his father, obviously for whatever reason, but then there's either other holy entities that have possessed other people, or demonic entities that have possessed other people that are now trying to track him down. And the reason I say that is because we got a glimpse of a demonic entity possession at the beginning of the trailer, where we saw the wheelchair, we saw a young lady then in the wheelchair, her eyes go black, which would lead me to believe that would be a demonic possession that was attempted to be exorcised. So we know we have both aspects, good and evil, playing within this film, and then possibly taking possession of people. And we've seen that play out in various TV series. I mean, the first one that would come to mind is Supernatural. So in Supernatural, we saw both like angels and demons possessing humans, right? So this might be something along those lines. Obviously not full-on supernatural storytelling, but I think it might be a little bit down that path, right? So Like I said, the trailer was only a minute 25 seconds, and even with the synopsis that we got, we can't tell too much about what this could be about. But like I mentioned, it's falling right within the subgenre of my favorite, which is the religious horror aspect. So we'll be checking this one out on April 11th via Shudder. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you may have picked up on in the trailer. Will you be checking this one out? Or I know for many people, religious horror is just not their thing. It kind of it walks that thin line that, you know, kind of gives them a little bit of unsettledness. So I can totally respect that it's not for everybody. But either way, drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we will see you at the next one. Peace.